Some of the top billionaires of the world are in a space race. This will be news for you if you were living under a rock for the past couple of months. Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson each took a spin in their supersonic, suborbital rockets, kicking off a new era of space travel in which billionaire-backed companies offer the high-flying excursions to anyone who can afford it. Bezos with his space company Blue Origin and Branson with his Virgin Galactic are going head-to-head to make space exploration fun and entertaining. Of course, for those who could have a sufficient bank balance to back this luxury trip. From the end goal perspective, both of the billionaire companies have many similarities, but when you compare their processes, they are actually quite different. So how much do these billionaire space flights differ? We'll be getting to know about that. When did all of it start? From the beginning of the year 2021, there were some kind of words going around that this year would be big for the space enthusiasts. The space race between the two billionaires caught the attention of the world as Blue Origin announced in April 2021 that they are performing a live auction for a sit-in for their first commercial human flight that was going to be launched on July 20th. And the most unexpected announcement that shook the whole world was that the company's CEO, Jeff Bezos, and his brother Mark will be among the passengers of this first human spaceflight. Like that wasn't enough for the world to stomach, adding much spice to the race, which was a boon for the media. Just a week later, Virgin Galactic announced Richard Branson is going to the edge of the world in space on July 11th, 9 days before Blue Origin's launch. And from there, the things just escalated as both of the billionaires completed a round trip to space. It was quite easy to say both of the events would get much attention, and it did. How will Bezos' spaceflight be? First, let's talk about the process which the world's richest man follows to get to the edge of space. As the world's richest person, the possibilities of how Jeff Bezos can spend his billions are endless. But Bezos appears ready to risk it all for an 11-minute ride to space. We know that his company has already performed many test flights, with one successful human flight in its bag, with Jeff Bezos in the flight. When most people think about spaceflight, they think about an astronaut circling the Earth, floating in space for at least a few days. That is not how Bezos wants it to be. He wants to play differently. Blue Origin's mission is to go up and come right back down, and the astronauts will be doing it in less time, in about 11 minutes. Blue Origin will offer a visit to space in a capsule on a rocket. Blue Origin's new Shepard booster, which carried the capsule holding Bezos and his crewmates, was named after the famous astronaut Alan Shepard. New Shepard stands 60 feet tall. The rocket booster and capsule on top are reusable. Blue Origin first tested the capsule in October 2012 and the rocket booster in April 2015. The capsule is designed to carry up to 6 passengers. Fully autonomous, there is no human pilot on board during the launches. It is pressurized with a climate control system and has the largest windows that have flown in space to date. New Shepard will steadily accelerate to more than 3 times the speed of sound. And after detaching from the booster, the capsule is expected to reach an altitude of more than 340,000 feet, or over 100 kilometers. The 100-kilometer altitude, commonly called the Kármán line, is also known as the edge of space. The passengers will experience 3 to 4 minutes of weightlessness and will enjoy the majestic view of the Kármán line in space. For getting back to Mother Earth, the capsule, with the passengers expected to strap back in, will return to Earth in a freefall at first, before deploying a set of parachutes. When it's just a few feet above the ground, the capsule's thrusters will then fire briefly to soften its impact with the desert. After the capsule lands, Blue Origin trucks will drive out across the desert to open the hatch and let the passengers out. Bezos has said he founded Blue Origin because he wants to help create a future where millions of people live in space, residing on lush, rotating manufactured worlds in orbit. What about Branson's spaceflight? In the case of the winner of the race, according to who got into space first, then the British businessman Richard Branson is the winner, as he went to space 9 days earlier than Bezos. Branson's space venture differs from Blue Origin in a couple of key ways. Virgin Galactic is focused on suborbital tourism, rather than launching people and payloads into space. It also has a radically different method of sending spacecraft out of Earth's atmosphere. Virgin Galactic doesn't launch rockets straight up from the ground like its rivals. Instead, its spacecraft is meant to be flown to 50,000 feet by a broad, dual-fuselage jet called White Knight 2. From there, the ship detaches and glides for a few seconds before firing up its rocket motor and beginning a near-vertical ascent to about 300,000 feet. In March, Virgin Galactic unveiled the VSS lineup, the first of its next-generation Spaceship 3 vehicles. This Spaceship 2 vehicle Branson rode, called VSS Unity, requires 2 pilots and can hold up to 6 passengers. The passengers will climb aboard the spaceplane, attached to the bottom of the mothership. When the spacecraft reaches its final altitude, customers will be able to get out of their seats and spend several minutes floating around the luxurious cabin and gazing back at Earth or out into space. Virgin also plans to offer flights for research purposes. Once the spacecraft is pulled back into Earth's atmosphere, it will be piloted back to Virgin's New Mexico facility for a runway landing. Richard Branson's trip to space and back lasted about 90 minutes from takeoff to landing. The spaceship was separated 45 minutes after takeoff, and after reaching the required height, those on board experienced a few minutes of weightlessness before descending to the spaceport. Which company is cheaper? Virgin Galactic has said Branson's flight will be testing the private astronaut experience. The company plans to resume ticket sales for a 90-minute ride soon. Approximately 600 reservations have been made for prices peaking at $250,000. Blue Origin was previously reported to be looking at charging $200,000. Recently, Virgin Galactic updated their price to $450,000 a seat. Virgin Galactic hopes to launch full-revenue commercial flights in 2022. And the first ticket of Bezos' spaceflight was auctioned for $28 million. Both companies hope the market will support economies of scale and lower prices down the road. But Branson has also said he doesn't expect prices to drop for another decade, and even by then, those looking for a ticket to ride could pay up to $40,000. So in the case of cheap, none of them are in the reach of common people. And if Branson is right, it wouldn't be in the upcoming decade, too. The tourism market is a nascent slice of more than $420 billion space economy. With all of these billionaires involved, the space exploration is going to get a huge push no matter what you think of it. That's all for now. I hope you've learned all about the 2 billionaires' space flights. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and turn on notifications so you're up to date on the channel's updates. See you in the next video.